Welcome to Game of Roses. This is Pace Case.
This is Bachelor Clues. Today's Friday. That means this is This Week in Bachelor Nation. A lot's been going on this week, as you all well know.
So much.
Within our beloved nation, we're going to be getting to all of that. But before we do, of course, we have a little business right up top. We're still looking for screeners, you see. Screeners of our beloved game. These are episodes of The Bachelor, or Bachelorette, as it's going to be, this upcoming season 21. We now have a release date. We'll be talking about that. We are looking for screeners of this show that we can watch one day early so that we can maybe potentially start doing some live events on Monday nights. We hope to get these screeners. If anybody has any leads on that, please let us know. We also have to let you know.
Game of Roses Pod on Instagram. Game of Roses on TikTok, Game of ROZES on Gmail.
That's right. Back in the old days when we were cool. We also have a lot going on our Patreon right now. There's Pace Cases Palapa is blowing up with Vanderpump. There is Clues Corner is blowing up with The Matchmaker is blowing up with the
new Go episodes, The Matchmaker, Traders,
Yes.
Perfect Match to come. I saw you made a Jenn Tran promo video on the YouTube channel too.
Yes, our YouTube
channel. When are you not making content, Clues?
Never. That's just what I do. I make things. I make my little projects. And right now, one of those is also our YouTube. So I've been trying to kick out new stuff on there. We're getting the look down. It's an experimental phase. If you want to be on that journey with us, as we're figuring out what our YouTube is, what it's going to look like, the rate at which we are putting out media, please join us. Just go to YouTube, look up Game of Roses, follow us there so that you don't miss any of these videos that we're putting out because they're very fun to make. And I think
you've made making it. It basically looks like CNN now. That Jenn Tran video you did was like, it looked like it had aired on a TV.
That's what I'm going for. Even this video that you're watching right now, if you're watching it, you may just be listening to this, and that's fine too. However you like to ingest Game of Roses. But if you're watching it, this too will probably look like a CNN video or an ESPN video. That's what I'm going for.
Sorry, that's called professional era.
Professional or not. I think, what we've always been going for on Game of Roses is kind of an ESPN of reality TV. So we're moving in that direction. We hope you will join us for that. Now, before we get into the meat of our show, I have a very special announcement, activity, whatever you want to call it. As you know, from time to time, I make music.
Big announcement.
I don't know. It is an announcement. It's an announcement for me. Some of the music that I make is Bachelor themed. And I've been working on an album that I'm calling For the Right Reasons. That is going to be 10 or so songs all about The Bachelor. But if you don't know anything about The Bachelor, it doesn't matter because I'm making these songs to be palatable to everyone. They're kind of new country pop style songs. And today, right now, Pace Case, for you, I'm going to do the world premiere of the title track For the Right Reasons. I made this using an AI music making software, but I wrote all the lyrics and I kind of, how do you want to say, massaged the AI into giving me the melodies that I wanted. I'm learning how to talk to these AIs. Yes.
Massage is part of AI? I didn't know.
Massaging, manipulating, playing with, toying with. Some people call it re-rolling, but I think
Fluffing?
you can. I didn't say that. And we'll get to that a little bit later in What Are You Watching, by the way. Speaking of fluffing.
Have you watched Challengers yet?
Have you watched Outlander? Challengers ain't got nothing on that. I guarantee it.
No. Are there devil's threesomes?
I'm sure there's gonna be. Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, there kind of was.
You haven't seen one yet.
We were close.
Season whatever. You haven't even seen a devil's threesome?
It's coming.
Okay.
I guarantee it.
Everyone go watch Challengers.
Yeah. Well, at any rate. Are you ready, Pace Case, for the world premiere of For the Right Reasons?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
You fell in love the last time you played this game. He didn't love you back. You didn't take his name. This time around you get to make the rules. Get to see who's real, get to see who's fools. Get to see my vulnerability. get to take my hand and begin this journey. 'Cause I'm here for the right reasons, and I'll never do you wrong. I'll come out of the limousine singing this song. I'm here for the right reasons, that's why we're gonna last. I don't care about my Instagram, don't want no podcast. I'm here for the right reasons, right reasons. I don't know much, but I know what I signed up for. To fall in love and maybe a little more. I'm ready for everything you have to give. Wanna see you dance, wanna see you live. Wanna see the future with you and me. Wanna see our kids on the family tree. I know it's hard to trust again. All these lights can hide what's real, but you can trust me until the end. Close your eyes and see what you feel. I'm here for the right reasons, and I'll never do you wrong. I'll come out of the limousine singing this song. I'm here for the right reasons, that's why we're gonna last. I don't care about my Instagram, don't want no podcast. Here for the right reasons, oh, the right reasons, the right reasons. I'm here for the right reasons. Baby, you know I am. I'm here for the right reasons.
Well, what do you think, Kiss
Wow. Yeah.
Kiss? What do you think?
This is 100,000 times better than the last version for me.
Yes. Well, because I'm not singing it.
It's got way more Taylor Swift
Yep.
feeling to it, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's a masterpiece. Put it on the internet.
I
ASAP.
just did. I think that's what's happening right now. It's going on the internet as we speak.
Make it a TikTok sound so I can make
I don't know how to do that, but I'll look into it. But this is, again, just the title track from my upcoming album. I don't know when I'll be finished with it, but I have a bunch of other songs that I've been working on, writing the lyrics for. Love Levels is the next one that I'm doing. I
Perfect.
think that'll be a good one. But it's all kind of, like I said, Bachelor-specific themes and ideas. But I'm also trying to translate them into like good country pop. That I think you would like this song, whether you know what right reasons
That
are or
song
not.
I could hear on the radio.
Yeah.
That it seemed like a real song. You know, I'm no CMA aficionado, but
All
we're going to
right.
be
Well,
talking about the CMAs later.
yes. Thank you for indulging me. My world premiere of For the Right Reasons. I hope everyone enjoyed it.
Indulging. Thank you for this beautiful gift.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm just very curious to see what AI music generation could do. And eventually, it's not just going to be music generation. You'll be able to do the same kind of thing with movies, TV shows, any kind of media you want. Music is always the canary in the coal mine. When MP3s first came out, the whole movie industry was like, yeah, sure, but you can't put movies in a file. You'll always have to have a hard copy. DVDs will live forever. Oopsie. So the same will hold true here, I think, for all other media. But let's move on, shall we, Pace Case?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's get into the meat of our show. We're starting with Game of Roses. State of the game. The state of the game is this, ladies and gentlemen. Jenn Tran's promo for her upcoming season of Bachelorette 21 has dropped. We have all witnessed it. We have all watched it a million times. Right now on YouTube, I have a whole video breaking down not only that promo and teaser, but the promos and teasers for the past 3 or 4 seasons to just kind of look at the evolution of these things and where Jenn Tran's promo stands. So, Pace Case, what are your initial reactions to this promo?
My initial reactions are it's giving budget.
Yes.
It's giving neon purple Love Island intros where they've got, neon hearts, but it's also kind of like clubby. Honestly, I think it's a step up from Charity's. Like Charity, we had the whole everything's covered in roses and she's like the queen or whatever, but this felt to me more modern than that.
Yeah.
And I feel like with the game element, kind of tying in with like arcade games and stuff, I feel like this was it was incredible. I have a couple questions, but
yeah,
I was blown away and I was like, oh, this got me hyped for Shot O'Clock.
I agree. For those who don't know what we're talking about, Jenn Tran's promo video is basically, the premise is she is playing a crane game, one of those games where you put in a quarter, $1, or whatever, and you manipulate a little crane claw to pick up a stuffed animal and drop it in the hole. She's playing one of these games. It's all pink neon, everything behind her, and there are phrases popping up. Now she's got the power, things of this nature. And so eventually she winds up inside the crane game, picking up little toy bachelors, little stuffed animal bachelors, and it's giving Miley Cyrus Wrecking Ball at one point. She's riding the crane like Miley Cyrus on the Wrecking Ball. And what it is really giving...
That was my question.
Yes.
Was why is she on the crane if she's the crane operator?
There's a little bit of confusion in the execution of this premise, but the premise is sound, and I agree with you. There's a bit tonally or thematically that minimizes her in saying that she's trapped in the game. She is, yes, playing the game and riding the crane, but she is trapped in the box itself. I don't know if they were going for that. That is what's in it. We see the media, whether the artist intends to put it there or not. It's there. We all see it. That said, I don't mind that because that is what The Bachelor is. Yes, you may be controlling the claw, but you're still in the box, and the box is controlled by the producers.
Yeah. Like puppetry is a big theme in Bachelor. I remember when we interviewed one of the casting producers about their job, and they described it as like, I'm the master puppeteer. And the claw, when it's holding Jenn, I was like, this feels very like puppet master vibes with like producers and then Jenn. So everything is giving, I'm loving. You know what it brought me back to? A scene. The claw has a rich history in Bachelor.
Oh my
it
God.
appeared in the background of a scene. I believe this might be a slight homage to an unaddressed small child that we saw stuck in a claw machine in the background of a week 3 one-on-one date in Bachelor season 21 with Nick Viall and Raven Gates.
I will simply say...
Is that what you thought of?
I did not think of that, and I will simply say this. If there is anyone involved in that promo, because those are all marketing people. Those aren't like people from the show who make those promos. If there's anyone involved in that promo production that remembers that, and this was indeed an homage to it, my mind would be blown. There may be 1 or 2 producers on the actual show who are around in season 21 that have some memory of that. I have to imagine no one involved in making that promo is having memories of the Nick Viall, Raven Gates one-on-one from week 3 of season 21. But maybe.
Yeah, I have to imagine it's probably not an homage, but it was where my mind went first. And it was just a piece of imagery from the game that always stuck out to me because I had never seen anyone inside a claw machine before.
Right.
And then, let alone a child, and then no one's even saving the child.
And the child was placed there by producers. Some producer, let's call him Alon Gale, had an idea that they wanted to put a child inside the claw machine.
He picked up the kid.
And they put the kid in there For what reason? It
How do you
wasn't
even
part
get
of
a
the
kid
story
in?
of that one-on-one date. They just are walking through the arcade of this skating rink that they were at on that date, and there's a child trapped in the claw machine. It
I
was
don't
just
know.
producer machination.
It's so weird that it makes me think they didn't put the kid in there, and then they were like, "Oh, this is funny. That kid got in there somehow." I don't know.
They put
Anyway,
the kid in
this isn't
there.
what we need to discuss. Another thing
No.
I noticed was, I've heard red is like often a good luck color in some cultures,
Okay.
Chinese especially. And Tran is Vietnamese American. She's wearing a red dress. It is a symbol of luck and used in most Vietnamese celebrations. A lucky color for wrapping gifts and red envelopes. Red is considered a lucky color because demons and evil spirits of legends were afraid of the color red.
Interesting.
Could be that.
Wait a minute. Is this video red?
No demons.
I thought it was pink.
No part of this is pink. She's wearing a red dress.
Uh-huh.
The neon is purple
Oh my God.
behind her.
My
I
colorblindness
know.
strikes again. I
I
simply
know.
can't
You
be
said
trusted.
pink in the beginning. I was like, oh no, clues.
And look, I'm at this point, I'm making all of the little graphics and stuff for our YouTube channel. My apologies if the colors are all over the place. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to use math. I'm literally just plugging in
don't
the
know
numbers of the
colors.
colors. What's that?
Clues doesn't know colors. You
I know
think that
some
beautiful
colors.
mind can hold all of this genius and colors too?
Oh my God. Look, the mind has nothing to do with my color blindness. It's the rods and cones in my eyes. They're deficient.
Mm.
You see.
Yeah. I have a deficiency of the eye. Photic sneeze.
Oh.
My neurons or something are crossed between my eyes and my nose.
Interesting.
So I sneeze when I look at the sun.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Some other people reacted to this promo on the official Bachelorette Instagram account. We have the Amber Lynn Brown saying, "It's giving budget, and I've never been more excited." Literal chills,
Yes.
fire heart emoji. We've got underscore Faithy B
Amberly.
saying, "Okay, for wise. This promo is promoting." Hand clap emoji ×3, fire emoji ×3. I feel like I'm on the circle right now. Nikki Nicole Starr says, "It's giving Katie's budget. No, ma'am. Y'all better drop some coins for our girl." I don't agree with this one. I think it gives high budget. Just the attention to detail in the text, the lettering, the neon lettering.
Yeah.
Just that is a step above. And I would say this. I don't know.
Go take a look at that Katie promo. That's what I would say.
Yeah, for real.
Go take a look at that skirt. Then say that.
Audrey says this is the best promo y'all have ever done. I don't know if that's accurate, because I do like Charity
I would say
Lawson's
it's the
quite
Hannah
a bit.
Hannah Brown Cinderella pulling off the skirt to reveal
Hannah Brown's
pants
was
to
great
you.
as well. But what is happening with Jenn Tran
Tasha's.
is something different. This is young. This is fun.
Mhm.
And this is exactly
A new
copying
direction.
Love Island and Too Hot to Handle. It's exactly copying.
That's fine with me.
I
Copy 'em.
agree. They need to be doing
Just
that.
do it well. They
Yeah.
copied this well. They copied Cause Amor poorly.
I agree. Do you think...
Yeah, I agree with them. I know there's some people in the comments saying, yeah, it's giving Katie's promo.
Yeah.
No way.
Some people didn't like the promo. I'm not among them.
It's shocking to me, but we come from a very specific perspective, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we just got Bachelor goggles on and we're just like, this is great. It doesn't have her looking shitty in a purple pencil skirt saying, "Be a Katie."
It's not shitty, though. That's the thing. I think some people may, just never be satisfied with however they promote these seasons.
Yeah.
They may have some kind of bone to pick generally with the franchise. I don't know. But objectively speaking, this promo has effort put in. It has money put in. They make Jenn Tran look great. She's in control, of course. She's the one with the coin. The neon lights are even saying she's got all the power, whether she's in the box or not.
Bespoke heart coin.
Yeah, she's riding the
So
claw.
Cute.
I simply think that this is, in my opinion...
I feel like she should have ridden the claw through the machine, actually wrecked it.
All right. That's one way to go with it.
There's one way. Okay, she's on. It's like that. That girl band that broke up that had one music video where they're all dancing on a construction site. around like a
Go-Go's.
no
I have no idea.
newer construction site
The
music
Bangles.
video. Why can't I think of this? Fifth Harmony,
I don't know.
Work from Home.
Never heard of them.
Well, it's kind of funny because they have little tools that they're just putting on random things, but I could see that of like, and then she's like the crane operator, and she's dressed in like a sexy construction worker outfit. I mean, what they really should have done is focus on how she's a woman in STEM. I think.
Yeah, that could have been interesting. She's teaching a
that
math
Michelle
class
Young one where she's doing basketball,
Sure.
just something about her personality, because it's not really like she's not a gamer.
Right. Well, she is. She's playing The Bachelor. That to me is the most telling piece of this. They said, what should we have her doing? Playing a game. Need I say more? That's why I love this one. But I also love it because it's just done well. It seems like they're paying attention to it, like they care about it, and they want to elevate her and make her look good. They did the same thing with Charities. I love that promo too, which in our most recent YouTube video, I also break that one down. I love them both. The difference is Charities is more classic Bachelorette. She's on a throne.
Like
the roses
fairy
are blooming.
tale.
Yes. This is
traditional
like
romance.
way more modern. I just feel like it seems like this promo is something that could have been on Netflix. And I think if Bachelor wants to maintain relevance, it has to continue to do this. It's got to feel like all the shows on Netflix. Otherwise, it's going to feel old and dusty and like something that your 60-year-old mother
Mrs.
or father
Robinson
or grandmother or
references.
grandfather watches. Exactly. So hats off to everybody in the marketing team who put this promo together. I absolutely loved it.
Something
And it
you
got me
pointed
excited.
out in the YouTube video that I really liked was that this promo looks like it was shot for social media.
Yeah.
It's got the vertical, you might be getting the wide shot, but you're absolutely getting that vertical shot of her coming and the depth of field so that it looks amazing still in a TikTok form. You're thinking about how are people actually going to be watching this promo.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. Forethought. They're putting some brain cells into this as well as some money, and it shows. So again, hats off to everybody involved in making this. We can't wait to watch this season. Now, Pace Case, let's move on though, because during the off season when we can't watch our beloved game, what are we watching? What are you watching?
What are you watching? What am I watching?
What are you watching?
What am I not watching? Survivor 45, because I finished it this week, baby.
Ooh, nice.
Great season.
Congrats. And?
Great season. Loved it. Started 46, which has great casting, so I'm very excited.
Right. Nice.
It has me, it's kind of like a more exaggerated version of Traitors. Like it requires so much lying. I love watching it.
Yeah.
And they also, it's like the main problem going on the show if you're not a sociopath is you basically become best friends with all these people. And then you have to lie to them and they're lying to you.
That's like, let me ask you this in terms of sociopathy. Do you think we've ever seen a real sociopath in Bachelor?
Yes.
Who?
Just numbers wise, we have. What is it, 1 in
like
100?
But it's not.
I'm not going to say, but I have my guesses.
1 in 100 people are supposed to be sociopaths or whatever, fine. But it's not, you're not just taking random 100 people and throwing them in Bachelor. The show is cast.
Yeah, they're probably more likely to be a sociopath if they're on Bachelor.
You think they're looking for sociopaths to put in the game?
I don't think they're looking for sociopaths. I just think it might be something a sociopath might want to do.
I think, yes,
not
a
knowing
sociopath
from
would definitely want to do it. What's that?
If my best friend is a sociopath and she thinks it's definitely something sociopaths would do.
What?
I don't know. I was just trying to make a joke like it's me.
I don't know if they're sociopaths or not, but
like I'm just thinking what specifically, and I'm not going to guess about any of this stuff, but there have been players who say they're openly misleading the lead.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily a sociopath. That's just like, I'm in a reality show. I want to stay to the end so I can get my Instagram numbers up. I wouldn't consider that being a sociopath.
But tricking the person? I don't know.
That's the nature of the game. That means every bachelor and bachelorette have been sociopaths by your standard. Like literally all of them. That's what the whole show is.
I don't know. Like, there's some sort of whatever. Anyway, I'm on Survivor 46 is the
Okay.
point. I
Right.
think I would love to see Bachelor players on there. Chase Rice was apparently on Survivor one season.
Yeah.
I don't know what number. I gotta go back.
I've heard that as well.
I have also started Outer Range season 2. That's a
Oh,
Prime show.
I didn't know there was a
Did you
season
watch this
2.
first?
I
It
watched the
just
first
came
season.
out.
Okay, interesting.
I will say
Check it
I
out.
wish I might have had I should have maybe rewatched season 1 because
Mhm.
it's been 2 years or something and I'm a little bit confused, but it's really good and interesting to me.
I
It's
think
kind of
that
a
show,
sci-fi Yellowstone show.
I think it's based on Mel's Hole. Hello?
Mel's Hole?
Yeah. You know Mel's
What's
Hole?
that? That sounds like a porno.
Oh my God. We're about to get to a porno when I talk about what I'm watching. No, Mel's Hole is an urban legend about this weird hole that this guy named Mel, I believe his name is Mel Waters, found on his property in Washington State. That was a bottomless hole, basically, that he threw 80,000 yards or 80,000 feet of fishing line into this hole and it never hit the bottom. And there were reports of like a dog coming back to life after being thrown in the hole and all this stuff. Um, and I think
Wait, this is real?
I mean, no, this
A
guy
real
went
hole?
on Art Bell's Coast to Coast at some point, divulging this story, and it kind of launched a big urban legend type thing about Mel's
Hmm.
Hole. But I think that urban legend is where the idea for the Outer Range came from. All right, nonetheless, these are all great shows. I will start watching Outer Range season 2. Um, however, what I'm watching right now,
Royal's Hole, as it's called.
Royal's Hole.
That's the main character, Josh Brolin
Oh,
is named
right,
Royal.
yeah. Um, what I'm watching currently is this. The Outlander. Or maybe it's just called Outlander. I think it's just Outlander.
The Outlander.
Do you know this show? I talked
I
about
read
this a
the
little bit
book
last week.
and the pilot. Watch the pilot, I think.
I mean, we just got to episodes 5 and 6 or 6 and 7.
Season
Up,
1?
yeah, up to that point, we're watching it and it's like, oh, it's cool. It says time travel. This woman travels from 1940s England just after World War II to whatever
Olden times.
1700s Scottish Highlands, and there's ancestry involved and all this stuff, and she's got a husband that she left in contemporary times, but she's kind of falling in love with this Scottish guy now, and there's like her husband in the future's family history is kind of tied into the redcoats who are persecuting these Scottish Highlanders that she's now falling in love with. So there's this weird love triangle thing going on, and I'm like, okay, that's what this is. It's
Mm-hmm.
going to be like historical fiction love triangle-y, time travel-y thing. This is cool. And there's a little bit of sex in it here and there.
Mm-hmm.
There's like her husband performs a sex act on her when they're looking through the ruins of this old Scottish castle. And you're like, all right, it's like a sexy show, whatever. About like Game of Thrones. Then I get to
Uh-huh.
episode 6 and 7. Or maybe it was 5 and 6. This is a porno. This is a porno show. The main character, this actress, whose name I don't know, is naked basically in the whole
Catriona
show.
Balfe?
What's that?
Catriona Balfe
Sounds right.
plays Claire Fraser.
Yeah, that's the main character. She is, well, her real name is Claire Beecham. That's her married name after certain things happen in the past. At any rate, she is having sex with this Scottish guy for the entirety of these entire 2 episodes, and it's very graphic. It's not
What?
suggested.
I have to go.
I know. Look, I've been getting a bunch of DMs from people telling me like, I have to know what you think of this. I love this show. And I'm like, okay, we got a bunch of horny people in our audience for sure.
Hell
This show
yeah.
is,
We've cultivated the audience that I want. Finally.
I've never seen anything quite like it, honestly, because it's so much. The volume of it is wild. There's a scene or a episode, I forget which one it is, again, 5 or 6, where she gets married to this guy in order to like
Spoilers.
spoilers. It's like an 8-year-old show. If you haven't seen it by now, my apologies. Spoiler alert, I guess. In this episode where she is getting married, they have to consummate the marriage for it to be like legally binding, so she can then not be taken by these British soldiers or whatever. She's now on
Oh, so it's
Mackenzie
for the
land,
plot.
Scottish land. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
this guy marries her, but he's like, but now we've got to consummate the marriage. So he takes her to the marriage bed, and
Stark Lord coming?
huh?
It's Stark Lord coming?
They're all Scottish, yeah. They all talk like him. So they begin to have sex. And in the beginning part, it's bad, but then they do it again and again and again, like until he gets good. The whole episode is that. It's them having sex. Full nudity. I'm shocked by it. Absolutely shocked.
Wow. I had no idea. I mean, I read the book
Neither did I.
and my mother had given it to me as a child, and I was like,
Wow.
I wonder if my mom knows there's sex in this. So I remember it being a little sexy, but
Yeah.
not like this. Not more than Game of Thrones.
Way more than
That's
Game
crazy.
of Thrones. Way more.
I got to check this out.
Yeah. Get to episode 5 or 6, and then it turns into a different show that is straight pornography. Speaking of
But
things.
no devil's threesomes yet, you're saying?
Not yet, but it's coming. You can tell it's coming. Speaking
Okay, interested.
and now let's check out all of those tids that are fit to print. This is Bachelor Nation News. First up in Bachelor Nation News, Season 23 Bachelor Colton Underwood is going to be a father. Underwood opted for the traditional Bachelor Nation method of posting a sonogram photo to Instagram this week to make the announcement. The 8-slide post featured multiple angles of the sonogram as well as images of his husband, Jordan Brown, in various poses, including riding Colton Underwood piggyback, their 2 dogs, and a headline of pull quotes from an article chronicling his difficulties with procreating entitled, quote, Colton Underwood, Spermageddon and the Journey to Daddyhood.
The post is captioned, "Our little boy is coming this fall, blue heart emoji." Underwood followed the post up with a reel composed of various videos of himself, Brown, their dogs, and the sonogram set to James Arthur's heartbeat, and augmented by a vintage video filter.
In an interview with Men's Health magazine, Underwood and Brown revealed that they have a fertility team of 9 people, and the process has cost them around $350,000. They also revealed that they found their egg donor using a concierge service in the hopes of finding someone who they described as, quote, spontaneous and adventurous.
The couple ended up receiving 22 eggs from their donor, and their sperm was divided. This is very detailed. Sperm was divided evenly to create embryos, the healthiest of which they transferred to their surrogate. The couple plans to have 2 children, with the second child being derived from the sperm of whichever person's was not used for the initial child. Good luck to the incoming Underwood Brown child and all of the parasocial plays they're going to make in the years to come.
Speaking of parasocial plays, next up in Bachelor Nation News, Hannah Ann Sluss, the greatest Night 1 player perhaps to have ever lived, also one half of Sluss and Funk, has upped her Bachelor Nation power rating by meeting up with none other than Bachelor Season 28 Instagram champion and runner-up and crown denier Daisy Kent.
The 2 titans of Bachelor Nation were in Miami for the Sports Illustrated Red Carpet and Academy of Country Music Awards. The genesis of Sluss and Kent generated some high-level parasocial content that we'll be covering in more detail a bit later in the show, but Kent issued a caption that is newsworthy in saying, "Your Bachelor soul sister and you finally meet up."
The Sluss and Kent Soul Sister moment was officially recognized by fellow Bachelor Nation All-Stars Kiara Norman, who said, quote, 2 beauties inside and out, and Victoria Fuller, who wrote, quote, stunning babes. Congrats to Sluss and Kent on this next era of their shared parasocial journey as soul sisters.
Next up in Bachelor Nation news, the ultimate Viking, Clayton Echard, is in the news this week for revelations he shared about his time in game on the Roller Coaster podcast hosted by Tyler Hall. The season 26 Bachelor discussed his mental health and the difficulties he experienced after producers made him out to be the villain on his season, which prompted the fourth audience to send a tidal wave of negative comments and DMs. He described himself as a puppet who was browbeaten into doing whatever the producers asked of him after suffering under the weight of relentless suggestions and manipulations. As always, we thank Clayton for his continued efforts to discuss the negative mental health effects of being a lead in the Bachelor franchise during the bubble seasons.
Up next in Bachelor Nation news, some Netflix news. We are currently witnessing the formal birth of the Netflix reality universe, or the NRU, as they are calling it. And as part of the emergence of that, what will most likely be the most powerful reality slate of any streamer or network, Netflix is showing signs of doing yet another thing right that no other network is even approaching with the announcement of the inaugural Netflix Superlative Awards.
From the official Netflix website, a press release reads, "To celebrate the launch of the Netflix reality universe, it's time to vote in the official Netflix Superlatives poll, recognizing the reality stars who do the absolute most and who give group chats around the world something to talk about. Vote as many times as you want until the poll closes on May 29th at 12 a.m. PT. The winners will be announced May 31st at 12 p.m. PT right here on Tadam. So check back to find out who's taking home the crown in each category."
Although this event is not televised in any way, it still is important, and the categories that you can vote on right now are as follows: cutest couple, most strategic player, ultimate reality BFFs, reality style icon, most likely to boost your mood, most likely to seal the real estate deal. There's like 2 or 3 shows that qualify for that, I guess.
I guess they're like, they have all the Selling Sunset
Yeah.
series.
Most quotable, most meme-worthy expressions. That should just be best face play, of course. And most
Wow.
willing to stir the pot. Good luck to all players involved. Now, I will say this about this. I think it's fascinating. I'm glad they're doing it, but it needs to be televised and it needs to be taken more seriously. A lot of these are kind of
Because you
goofy-
want to watch another award show?
of reality players? Yup. That's the only one I want to watch. I don't care about the Oscars anymore. This I'll watch. And they have a good representation, all the players that are nominated.
Wake me up when you got your EGOT-10.
Exactly.
Your EGOT NRU.
Yeah, I agree. They do a pretty good job representing, obviously, Love is Blind is in this a lot. Too Hot to Handle's in this a lot. There's Selling Sunset. There's also Love on the Spectrum is represented in a couple of categories, which I found pretty interesting.
Oh, cute.
The Circle's in there. All the regular usual suspects from the Netflix reality universe, as they're calling it, which is, I don't think, a good name either. The NRU.
NRU is not a good 3-letter thing.
I agree. They should
I think
change
they
some
could
things
have gone
up,
with
but
something better. Tadam also, maybe I'm
Tadam is
stupid,
bad.
but Tadam always confuses me.
I agree. That's the official Netflix website that deals with all of their stuff. I love that they have their own media channel to promote their own shows. I think that's fantastic. It should not have been called Tadam, and it should not be the Netflix reality universe.
One other thing that I question is allowing unlimited votes. Shouldn't they give these reality fans a break?
From what?
There's going to be people who are just voting all day, every day.
I don't know if that'll be the case,
For a
but certainly
week.
you could write a bot to do this and try and rig the system if you're so inclined.
Ooh.
Just saying, if you have any bot experience,
Maybe
write a bot.
something for young Poppy
Yeah,
to program.
Unfortunately, there are no stakes here, and it's not a televised event, so I don't think anybody's going to go to the effort of doing any of that. But again, baby steps. They are taking them in a direction that no other place is doing. You don't see ABC doing this. You don't see anyone doing this. An awards thing for specifically for their
I mean,
network's
I'm
reality
sure like Bravo does something along these lines on the after shows, but I haven't heard it described like this.
It's still kind of jokey. Even this one is. And it's like, I think reality TV needs to move out of the jokey phase. It's got to be taken seriously now. And I'm not saying we can't have fun on the shows and they can't be funny, of course. But when you're giving awards to people and stuff, even if it's like People's Choice Awards, those awards do kind of mean something. You'll put that on your resume if you've won a People's Choice Award. I don't know.
We
that
were
you're putting
nominated for People's Choice Awards.
Yeah. I mean, I nominated
You
him.
also, even if it's jokey,
All you have to do is pay some amount of money. It's like $100 or something.
it's jokey. It doesn't mean it has to be bad. Like most meme-worthy expressions would sound so much better as best face play.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
Obviously, that's proprietary, but
is it? The words face and play put together?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, trademarks. We
Once
trademarked
this
every word
video's
in the
on the
English language
internet,
and all
it's
combinations.
a trademark.
I'm simply saying that put a little more thought into it and treat your audience with a little more respect. You know, this to me has a little bit of a tinge of Tosh coming in and being like, I think reality TV is documentaries for stupid people while you're watching the reality show.
No one wants a
he's
Tosh
hosting.
tinge.
Yeah, this is a Tosh tinge. Moving on. Finally, in Bachelor Nation news, some theories are starting to emerge regarding what looks to be the cancellation, or at least the postponement, of Bachelor in Paradise after last week's network upfronts failed to mention the Bachelor franchise All-Star show. A Reddit user named Male1051 recently started a thread and included a screenshot of an announcement that claimed Playa Escondida, the hotel where they have shot all the most recent seasons of Bachelor in Paradise, is now under new ownership, and perhaps the new owners aren't as franchise-friendly as the old ones. But it is the opinion of this reporter that the new ownership has nothing to do with this decision. As with all decisions made by billion-dollar corporate media companies, money is the only thing that matters here. And because I believe of the low ratings of Bachelor in Paradise Season 9, it simply was not financially viable. If it was making enough money, and if it is true that the new owners of Playa Escondida don't want them shooting there, they would immediately find another place to shoot it. That's not that difficult. It simply is about budget. The ratings were too low for what their cost is for that show. So goodbye, Bachelor in Paradise. And maybe they can be convinced to try and restart it at some point. We've seen things like that with Joe Millionaire, for example, on Fox. That was a long dead show that they chose to bring back. That could happen again here.
Temptation Island.
Temptation Island's another one. At any rate,
I think they can. I think we're absolutely going to see a BIP 10. But I'm hoping they're just taking some time to rebrand. They're seeing how Golden Bachelorette's going to pan out.
Yeah.
And once we have our all Bachelor streaming network, we're going to have Bachelor in Paradise.
Yeah. I hope those days are soon coming. But now we must move on to discuss all those plays our favorite players are making off the field. This is
the parasocial play of the week. Our nightlife bestie, runner-up player of Hannah Brown's season, builder of houses for people and dogs alike, Tyler Cameron, made a joint play with the Jennifer Hudson show this week via Instagram. In the reel, Tyler Cameron and Jennifer Hudson discuss his nude photo shoot for OnlyFans, which was a April Fool's joke, of course. And he tells her he's going to give her a kringle of a framed nude photo for her studio. 277K views for this reel. The Enemy of Shirts also attended Jojo Siwa's 21st birthday party at Disney World. In a reel by a civilian, Jojo Siwa hoarsely demands the civilian sings the lyrics to her song with her as Tyler Cameron picks up drinks from the bar behind them. Siwa in her birthday post made the third photo an image of Tyler Cameron giving her a piggyback ride in his signature neon orange construction vest. These plays were a parasocial special force in themselves. 157K likes, 2.5K comments.
And the sluice is loose. We already kind of talked about this, but the Sluss of Funk and Sluss met up with Christmas farmer Daisy Kent for an unlikely dynamic duo this week. Daisy Kent, I see what you've done here. Daisy Kent, Kent be stopped. She and 4-cookie baker Deep Cut Hannah Ann Sluss teamed up for a joint reel together to the audio Pocket Full of Sunshine. Daisy stands alone, but is then joined by Sluss of Sluss and Funk, and the pair hug, join forces. The caption reads, quote, POV, your bachelor soul sister and you finally meet up, white heart emoji. This only had a moderate 1.8 million views and 53.6K likes. Gigantic.
It's just a hug. The video is one hug.
It's not one hug. It is two of the most super-powered, electrically charged players we have seen in the game in the
Of
past
course.
decade, maybe, I would say, coming
Of
together
course.
and sharing a screen, sharing an image, sharing a parasocial play. These things can never be discounted, in my opinion. When you have
I'm
people from
sorry for the
disparate seasons
disrespect.
coming in, no disrespect. I simply love the play. I love anything Hannah Celeste does. Let me just say that. I
Mm-hmm.
think she is one of the most underrated players from the past seasons, and I think everybody from season 24 kind of didn't get a fair shake because there was no
Mm-hmm.
Paradise after that, and there was such a 6 month break in the Bachelor media pipeline that season kind of came and it went. And yes, Pilot Pete came out of it, and he's gone on to Traders and stuff. But all the players of that season have they've
Some of
existed
them
in
went to the
this.
NFL, some went to the Billionaires, some went to
Yeah.
Chris Soule's house.
Yes. All this is true. I don't know.
Maybe they'll be on BIP 10.
Well, Celeste and Funk won't.
Yeah, I guess.
She's married to the game now, the NFL. Next
Mm.
up, Joan Vassos made a very strong slideshow post from the upfronts. In the first slide, she poses with Bachelor Happy Hours Susan. That should be Golden Bachelor Happy Hour Golden Hours Susan. In one photo, she poses with the Dark Lord Lisa Vanderpump, as well as Kathy, and one with 4/6 of the Cowie 6, Kawhi 6,
Kauai.
Joey, Kelsey, Dot, and Charity. And a Taylor Swift homage. The caption reads, "The lights are so bright, but they never blind me." Sparkly star emoji. Thank you, NYC and at ABC, for a beautiful week! Exclamation. So lovely to spend time with my at Bachelor Nation family and also meet my new friends. Hashtag the Golden Bachelorette. Red rose emoji. We're happy that this prolific parasocial powerhouse is reaping the rewards of her work thus far and can't wait for the content she makes now with the first golden crown atop her golden locks.
I screamed when I saw this photo of her and Lisa.
Yeah. I mean,
So good.
that's gigantic. Anytime you're seeing Bachelor players from any of the franchises, golden or otherwise, posing with just these icon. There are certain people in reality TV that are like above the game that kind of define what
Mm-hmm.
it is. Lisa Vanderpump is one of them, clearly.
One of the top housewives of all time. Like,
Yeah.
she now has all her own spin-off shows. All of these were strong plays. However, not to be confused with Outlander, but just like Highlander, there can only be one winner. Our parasocial play of the week goes to ring winner and bucket hat aficionado, the poet laureate, Ryan Sutter. He made a beautiful two-part, actually more than two-part offering on Instagram. The first cryptic post was posted on my birthday, May 11th. It was a bikini shot of Trista.
Mm.
Then May 12th, caption, "Wish you were here for Mother's Day." And then the infamous missing Trista post. Quote, the caption reads, "I really wish I could talk to you, ask you how you're doing. How was your day? I'd really like to hear your voice just for a minute. So many times I've called without much to say, not realizing how lucky I was or how much I'd miss the opportunity if it were gone. I want to know how you're doing. I want to support and encourage and cheer you on. I want to be there for you, but I can't. And that's okay because I know you need this time to discover yourself again. So I'll be here for you instead. I'll be here when you get back. I'll be here to listen to you, to smile with you, maybe cry with you. I'll be here to love you. ... I'll be here ... forever. Hashtag love." A lot of people reacted to this post and were confused. One comment reads, "I'm not sure he realizes how much this makes it seem like she's dead." So he then made this post describing the response to his missing Trista post,
If
a
I may.
one image, black and white image of their dog with the following caption. Yeah, you may.
To me, it made it seem like they have an open marriage, not that she was dead.
I didn't think she was dead. I thought she's probably doing a third wave show, but
I mean, yes, that's what is likely. But the way the end of this, so I'll be here for you instead when you get back. I'll be here to listen to you, to smile with you, to discover yourself again. To me, that was like, are they in an open marriage? What's going on here? But no, I think you're right.
yeah, or she's going on like an eat, pray, love journey or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll give you this one.
Okay.
Clues.
Oh, I guess read this one. So this is his
Yeah.
follow-up post.
This is
It
the
reads,
follow-up
quote,
to the
his
the
reaction,
missing
his
Trista.
response to someone saying, "Is Trista dead?" Ryan Sutter posted this caption: "I mostly post about my dog. I drive a pickup truck to a blue-collar job. I mow my own lawn, pull my own weeds, and clean my own house. Most days I eat
I
a
mean, there's
peanut
your
butter
next
and
song.
jelly sandwich for lunch, ride my bike, and watch hockey if it's on." My son is playing.
So wholesome.
He's just eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I don't drink or do drugs. I don't drink or do drugs. And app Vans are my shoe of choice. Is this SpawnCon? Why is
I
it
guess
added?
so. I guess so.
App Vans are my shoe of choice, usually with jeans and a t-shirt. I feel pretty normal because I am pretty normal. But 21 years ago, I was pretty famous. He was the poet laureate. Still is the poet laureate, I think, of Bachelor Nation. I don't have millions of followers, and I'm not influencing anyone, but for some reason,
Except
every now and
Vans.
then, he is, though. I bought bucket hats because of him. But for some reason, every
I'm
now
not
and
knowingly influencing anyone.
then, yeah,
Correction.
He's right. He's indirectly influeing me. But for some reason, every now and then, people still pay attention. Apparently, that has recently been the case. I strayed from the safety of the usual dog theme and chose to post a message to my wife for a time when she could eventually read it. She understood the context, and so did I. No one else did, however, and that's where things went sideways. It was suggested that Trista had died. We were in trouble, or that it must be a midlife crisis, among many other creative ideas. Some thought I was intentionally misleading people in order to somehow benefit from it. He was. It got picked up on entertainment news sites, and I started getting texts from friends asking if I was okay. And because I missed my
Oh
wife,
God.
I chose to share how that felt. It felt weird to wear the clothes of past fame once again, even if only briefly. Is he talking about the bucket hat here? It reminded me of how crazy life was and how grateful I am for the life I have. But to be honest,
talking
it
about the
also felt
Vans.
good to know people still cared and worried and wondered. It felt good to be noticed and inspired me
Aw.
to do better at paying attention to others when they do good or when they need help. In the end, like most things, eventually turned out okay, though I think I'll go back to posting about my dog again for a bit. This is so long and very
Hashtag
funny.
life at the end.
Sorry, hashtag life at the end. We got 14.1K likes, 668 comments. Whether this eccentric series of plays was an accident or a 10-dimensional chess parasocial play to promote her new show, we loved it all the same and are excited for the pair to reunite once she no doubt finishes dominating whatever third wave arena she's currently competing in. And it's likely Special Forces. That's kind of the most credible rumor, because there were some other people that were going into Special Forces who also posted some kind of farewell to the internet type things. So,
But not as good as this one.
no, this was wild as hell.
It's, for me, it is giving Tino's dad's Facebook post, A Gentleman's 5'6", which I loved. It's giving Becca Martinez going missing, but turns out she's on a weed farm / bachelor.
Yeah.
It was so good, and I knowing that everyone is fine, I laughed really, really hard.
The peanut butter jelly sandwiches is like, I've had eras in my life where that's basically what I'm eating for every meal, but not always. I wouldn't say that that's always what I'm eating every day.
My
for
old
lunch.
boss ate it every day.
Wow, they're good.
Yeah.
Moving on. Congrats, by the way, to Ryan Sutter for claiming this parasocial play of the week. Now, let's move on to the parasocial creature of the week. There were a lot of good plays, but this week, the parasocial creature of the week is Andrew Spencer's adorable pup. He posted an Instagram story of this puppy laying on what looks like his stomach, staring right into the camera with a little caption that says, "Like for real, stop staring at me," to Mariah Carey's Obsessed song. This dog is very cute. If it's still up, check out Andrew Spencer's story.
That's a parasocial gaze.
It truly is.
Watch
Now let's
out,
move
Percy.
on to that portion of our program where we delve deep into our fandom of The Bachelor and reality TV generally, what we like to call going into the pit, where we begin to issue forth our screams about how our fandom has drastically changed our lives, destroyed our lives, enhanced our lives. You be the judge of that. This is
Screams from the pit.
My scream this week, I didn't think was going to be a scream. And that kind of is the scream.
Yeah.
I thought I'm booking my first trip with my partner alone. That's not a wedding or group thing this year. And we picked a spot that's near one of his work things. And I was like, great. I think this is, like, I couldn't remember. I don't think this is Bachelor related at all. And I was like proud of myself for that. I was like, wow, this is
Yeah.
stepping outside the box. And then there was a little thing in my brain. And so I did like I often do, see how it ties to our beloved game. Googled the city's name, Majorca, and Bachelor. Sure enough, maybe you can name it. Colton Underwood's Fantasy Suites, apparently, with Cassie, we're in Majorca.
That's where they flew in her dad to blow up that whole season?
Yes.
Oh my God. You get to trace the steps of Cassie Randolph's father, who was sent there on a one-man mission to destroy season 23 of The Bachelor.
I guess so. It turns out that way. It turns out that I can't. I mean, maybe it's just, they've gone to all the places in the world where it's great to fall in love,
Mm-hmm. Wait, was that where he did the fence jump? No, that was Portugal, wasn't it? Because it was.
Yeah, the fence jump was, I want to say, Algarve?
That's what I think too. With Chris Harrison marching off into the
Um,
night, screaming into the dark sky, Colton! Colton!
I think that's where he came, Fantasy Suites?
I think so too.
Yeah, the day of their Fantasy Suite date.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, so yeah, it's after hometowns. Oh, no, Cassie's dad arrived in Portugal.
Mm,
Wait, what?
well, I don't know.
Did they go to both?
Perhaps. I don't remember exactly where they traveled, but nonetheless, even the fact that you are one of the parts of your booking of travel is Googling if the area you're going to was ever in The Bachelor, that alone is a scream, in my opinion. I don't think that's a normal thing to do, but it's something I applaud and look forward to doing myself if I ever take a
I mean,
mini
it's
me.
something I do like almost every day.
Yeah.
Today it was Claw, Bachelor.
You know, I will say I went to Paris a
Oh,
few
wait, they
years
met
ago.
his family in Majorca. So
There we
that
go.
must have been
The
what?
finals.
Finals, yeah.
Yeah. I went to Paris about a year and a half, 2 years ago almost. And one of the things that I had to do was go and stand in front of the Moulin Rouge to be like, this is where Ari and the whole gang of that group date went in, that Becca Martinez won, et cetera, et cetera. And also I tried.
Luckily, that's already, an important spot to hit as a tourist.
Yeah, exactly. I also tried to find the spot
Unlike
where.
the crying bench I went to in Amsterdam.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Not culturally significant
Well,
other than that.
Pace Case, I have a scream as well.
Yeah.
My scream is this. I have found a new room in the pit, a new cave, essentially. One that I think was always there, and I just didn't know. Somehow it had escaped my view. I have been walking past this cave for the past 5 years, and I just never looked inside. Now I'm living in it. The cave is this. It's the videos. It's the YouTube cave. When we first started this podcast, I immediately began digging the podcast cave. How do I edit these sounds? How do I create this audio? How do we post? How to use this program, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Because this was only ever an audio podcast. Now that we're doing video all the time and our YouTube is flourishing, I'm learning how to edit these videos. And I am compulsively watching ESPN, CNN, other reality TV show podcasts that are also on YouTube to see how all of this has been done. And I find myself watching the news now, and I don't even care what they're talking about. I'm just looking at the layout of the frame.
Format.
What graphics are they using? How do they cut interviews together? And this is because of The Bachelor. I now can't even imbibe the news. I literally don't hear what they're saying. I'm just looking at the layouts, and I love it. I don't know what else to say. I love it. I love the experimentation. It is making the podcast feel new to me again. And if you're not following us on YouTube, I encourage you to at least check out one or two of the most recent videos. Like check out this video of this podcast. If you're just listening to it, I'm going to do some stuff in it. I already have some ideas for how I'm going to edit this video.
He's been doing weird faceplay the whole time just for the YouTube watchers.
No, like graphics and stuff. Like I want, the heads of like Hannah Celeste to pop up when we're talking about her and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just going to have a fun time editing this one. So I hope you'll join me for that. But yeah,
I think if you're getting something positive out of the news, that's good in itself.
Okay, that's true.
And I completely understand how you feel. I sometimes Inside the NBA shows on in my household.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I see myself in Shaq on that show, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Are you the
I see
Shaq
how
of
this
Game of
is.
Roses?
I just feel like he's got like a laid back but goofy vibe, just
Yeah.
like me.
Who am I? The Charles
So
Barkley
chill.
then?
You're the bow tie,
The bow tie guy?
the white guy.
The
You're the one white guy,
non-basketball player? The only
the
journalist in the
non-basketball
room?
player.
Thank you. All right.
But he's the professional journalist.
Sure. They're all professional journalists, technically. Just some of them have played pro basketball.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the shortest one.
Okay. Fair enough.
But that's not why.
Yeah.
It's because he's an expert
Oh, I see. Okay.
on everything he's talking about.
Fair enough.
Mostly.
It's not because he has a dragon tattoo. Let's move on.
Does he?
I do.
Yeah, and a butterfly tramp stamp.
The
I
butterfly
heard.
tramp stamp is a rumor. Doesn't exist, but the dragon tattoo is very real.
It's not the rumor.
Good. I see what you did there.
Good.
Let's move on. We have one more scream for you. If you listen to this program with regularity or you're on our Patreon, you know
Thank
that.
you.
What?
I was just thanking the regular listeners.
You know that we play screams from other people in the pit. We're not the only two people in the pit. There's a bunch of people down here. We're all screaming. And if you're on our Patreon at patreon.com/gameofroses, it will give you access to a lot of things. One of those things is our Discord. On that Discord, there's a channel where you can upload your own screams. They just have to be a 1 minute or shorter audio clip, and we play the best ones here. Are you ready to hear this one, Pace Case?
Yes.
Here we go.
I have reached the stage in my journey into the pit where things from the pit are finding me all the time. For example, in watching season 3 of Bridgerton, my partner turned to me and goes, "That must be the extras fit of the season. Ugh, we need to workshop that. Let's talk to Clues." This is because he now only watches reality TV in Clues Corner with me. Then, I currently teach at Clark University. And today, at the commencement, there were 2 musical interludes. And they were performed by Marshallie Ellis Kelhelm, great singer. The first one was "I Hope You Dance." And the only thing I could think as she sang that was, wow, this is what Love is Blind used their music budget on for Zach and Bliss's wedding. Praise be.
It's a good scream. I don't know how high level this is or low level, depending on how you view the pit. But it's one of the kind of first things I remember happening to me is you see reflected in everything in the world, The Bachelor or whatever reality shows you're watching. And by the way, thank you for only watching reality television and Clues Corner to this person's partner. But I think this is kind of the entry level. This is when there's no mistaking you're in the pit, is when you see anything happen in the world around you and you're like, oh, that was on season 4 of Love is Blind, or that was on this, or this is, as Pace Case is saying, she's now Googling anytime she takes a trip anywhere to see if it's been in The Bachelor. That's where you're at. That's where you're at with this scream. But it's a great scream. Congrats.
I mean, it's kind of how you would look up a travel site before you go. I want to know the history, the important history of the location before I go.
Absolutely.
And I'll know it better by the time I go. Geez, it's the finale, not Fantasy Suites. I mean, the reporting I read was obviously wrong.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I had the same experience as this person while listening to this scream. When she says the title of the song, I'm like, wait, how do I know that song? Zach and Bliss only. That's the only way I know that song.
That popped into my head as soon as she said it. I was like, is she about to talk about Love is Blind? Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic scream. Thank you for sending it in.
So
Again,
good.
to anybody else who wants to
Definitely
send us.
workshop that background extra taut term.
The extra fit of the week. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know exactly what that would be either. But I do this when I'm watching 90 Day. I'm always giving awards just to myself, to anyone who's listening in the room, to my cat, about, oh, there's the Jorge Moreno bystander of the week. There's the this, there's that face play, all of that. They have all those things.
So even though it's
90
purely for pleasure, 90 Day, you're still counting the stats.
The Jorge Morenos, look, all the stats that we have, some of them are objective, kind of like game structural things. But Jorge Moreno bystanders, face play, those started out as pure pleasure. The reason we acknowledge them is
Yeah.
because they're fun and funny. And the same holds true in 90 Day. That show has some bystanders that are next level. I've never seen some of those kind of bystanders before. I highly encourage you to watch 90 Day.
My
if you're not.
bystander of all time is probably the person who robbed the 90 Day person with a machete.
That's a hard one to beat. That's a hard one to beat. I agree
I
with
never
you.
saw that on TV before.
Yeah, that's a very tough one to beat. That is maybe the greatest bystander who's ever lived. That is the Babe Ruth of bystanders.
Uh,
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today for This Week in Bachelor Nation. We hope you have enjoyed it. We've got some big things in store, some big interviews coming up over the next couple of weeks. We hope you'll join us for all of that as well.
yeah, that's my actual other scream. It's an interview we just did. Is not coming out for a couple weeks, but it's going to be a really good one.
Absolutely. I think everyone will love that. And we will have a Digging Deeper out for you on Monday. So stay tuned for that. If you're on our Patreon, you can listen to the whole thing, as well as all of our podcasts ad-free, as well as all the Pace Case Palapas, all the Clues Corners, and those live
We're
shows
still
that we do
doing
every
live
Monday at
shows in the
4:30.
off season.
That's right.
Join us.
We had a wild one this past Monday.
Hashtag save Trista.
Yeah. If she doesn't win Special Forces, I'll be upset on a personal level. That's
She's
my
gonna
scream.
win. She's gonna win.
The Bachelor franchise so far has dominated that game. I want to continue the dominance. But again, thank you everyone for joining us.
I think they'll just give it to her. That's legacy.
Yeah, I don't know about
Okay.
that. At any rate, thanks for joining us. And until next week, Pace Case, what is that dwab at?
It's been 8,095 days without an Asian bachelor. Praise be Dark Lord Palmer.